Back at you with another one. It's the Steve Show.
Don DeMarco.
Tonight, we're going to be reviewing Godzilla -1. We just went to go see it.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I was never really a Godzilla fan. Lifelong Godzilla fan here. And buckle up.
Love me some Zilla.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, so Godzilla -1, it's just tearing it up right now. Broke multiple box office records.
Wow.
Largest ever domestic debut for a Japanese film. The biggest opening for a foreign language film, period. And the first in 19 years to sit on top of the box
19
office.
years.
Yeah, only a $15 million budget. And it made its budget back just on the domestic totals alone. On a global scale, it more than doubled the budget in earnings.
Absolutely crushing Hollywood with their $200 million budgets.
Yeah. And I know you saw it got a 97% certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. I prefer IMDb, but whatever.
And, you know, people are giving the movie high praise. Everybody's saying it's the best Godzilla movie ever, movie of the year, etc. Nothing but good reviews.
I heard the same thing. I watched a ton of reviews. I kind of persuaded him to come on, let's go see it. Let's go. I want to see it.
And you started really liking Godzilla with the American version. You hated the Japanese
The Legendary
movies.
Is when I actually started to become a fan.
Yeah, you were
then Shin Godzilla came out, and that was...
Yeah, you hated that. I didn't like Shin Godzilla either.
It looked like Muppet Godzilla to me, something like Fraggle Rock or something like that.
I thought Shin Godzilla was boring.
And I had high hopes for this movie.
Yeah. We did too. Big expectations for it. Toho extended its release.
Oh, nice.
In the movie theaters.
Make a little bit more money.
Yeah, for at least another week or two. Maybe they'll do it through Christmas. And basically, woke Hollywood's been destroyed by Godzilla -1.
Yeah, spent like a fraction of the budget.
Fraction of it.
And made all the money back.
All the Disney movies, big Hollywood movies, they have hundreds of millions of dollar budget.
I just read Disney lost something like $200 billion or something. $200 million, $200 billion, whatever it was. It's a shit ton of money.
The MCU.
The MCU, yeah, I heard that one.
Godzilla destroyed the MCU.
So this movie, Godzilla -1.
What'd you think of it?
I thought it was all right. Movie of the year? No, definitely not the movie of the year. I mean, I haven't seen many movies this year, so possibly, the other movies were absolute trash, but this movie didn't blow my mind like I expected it to based on all the reviews I watched, based on what everything said about it.
Me neither.
It was good, though. I would give it 1 thumb up, not 2 thumbs up.
Right. Definitely. We walked in expecting movie of the year.
Yeah.
That's not what we got.
Absolutely.
Were we entertained? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And was it better than Shin Godzilla? 100 times better than Shin, and it's terrible CGI and Muppet-looking Fraggle Rock Godzilla.
Yeah, this CGI, they nailed it, I think.
I don't know about nailed it. Maybe, 90-something%.
Yeah.
There were a few scenes that I was like, that's no good. That's no good. We'll get into that, though.
Yeah, here and there. We watched a ton of reviews about this, and they're all positive, but I feel like none of them really gave it a good critical review or a fair review.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody's
gassing
gassing everybody up.
Acting like it's an Oscar award-winning movie of the year. Maybe it does win some Oscars. I don't know, but
I don't know.
I just didn't see it like that. There's a lot of first off, Godzilla appears 5 minutes into the movie.
Right into the movie. So the movie jumps off with a kamikaze pilot from World War II that decided to not take his life and lands on Odo Island.
Yeah, that was like the repair center.
Yeah, to go get his plane repaired because he couldn't go kill himself because his plane must have been messed up.
Yeah.
And dinosaur Godzilla comes. Not even radiated giant monster. It was just Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus Rex looking Godzilla.
Yeah, which they did that origin story in Godzilla versus King Ghidorah way back. So,
on Odo Island and everything.
Godzilla being a dinosaur and then, getting nuked and turning into Godzilla.
But the trouble I have with it, that's great. 5 minutes into the movie, 2 minutes into the movie, Godzilla's there. Yeah. Wonderful.
And they're like, oh, hey, it's Godzilla. Like, they know him. Like, if
oh, that's Godzilla.
Yeah. Yeah, like
They're
they
like,
didn't dive into the Odo Island story and the myth of Godzilla.
Yeah, there was no
before they introduced him.
No introduction to Godzilla. He just comes out as a smaller version, dinosaur-looking Godzilla.
Yeah,
and then this kamikaze pilot, failed, disgrace, shamed kamikaze pilot, watches all of his military men get killed.
Yeah, he was
by
too
this
scared
dinosaur.
to shoot.
Yeah, he froze up, too scared to shoot, crying and whatnot.
Yeah, and I wasn't crazy about the lead actors acting in the movie, man.
It was definitely overacting a little bit.
Dealing with like, maybe considering himself a coward because he was a kamikaze pilot who didn't want to die. And he's just going through all of this stress. Then he couldn't pull the trigger and all of the guys died and it was on him.
Yeah.
And he just seemed like a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, he seemed to be whining and crying a lot throughout the movie.
Yeah.
He was dealing with some stuff.
Yeah.
I'll give him that,
Yeah.
So after he sees his crew die, he goes back home and everything is destroyed, totally obliterated from the war,
War
not
II.
Godzilla. And he finds out his parents are dead, his neighbor lost all her children. And somehow he runs into this woman with an orphaned baby. Picks up a stray. They follow him home.
Yeah.
And
just stay
basically
with him.
kind of starts a family.
Yeah.
But denies it the whole movie.
Yeah.
No, that is not my wife. No.
Yeah. Like the part that was like kind of mind-blowing about the movie was that, these events like the nuclear bombs destroying Japan and people going through that actually happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a true, real story, the war at least.
Yeah, so that was like a very realistic, hard-hitting part of the deal.
This guy not only makes it clear that she's not my woman, she's not my wife, he goes as far to be a dickhead and tell the kid, no, I'm not your father. You know, she the little baby's calling him daddy and mommy. They're calling her.
He had issues. He had issues
he had issues throughout the whole movie. The movie had some issues,
but I didn't feel like he was portraying the troubles he was going through correctly through his acting. That's basically.
I didn't go through the same things this guy went through, so everybody deals with things different anyway.
Yeah. And the movie was not really all a drama. There was some wacky, goofy, jokey parts to it.
Definitely.
When he hooks up with the crew, right? Like that's the next step,
that's the next scenes is where, he's got to try to find a job throughout this apocalyptic Japanese city.
Yeah.
And he winds up working for the government again.
Retrieving mines.
Yeah, retrieving mines. And he shows up at the dock, and you got these small-looking wooden boats, and he's like,
Looks
knocking
like
on
Quint's
it,
boat
like,
from
what's going on here? He's a little baffled by the wood.
Yeah,
and
shitty wooden boat.
Finds out the mines are magnetic, so it all makes sense.
Yeah, so it makes sense to go with the wood.
And CGI-wise, this is where I have an issue. While they're out looking for these mines, Godzilla shows up. When he instantly pops out of the water, bad CGI. But right after that is what you see in the trailer where he's swimming.
When he's swimming and chasing
behind
the
the
boat.
boat.
That was a great scene.
That was
one
good.
of the best scenes in the movies.
I thought that was very good.
Yeah, I don't think they ever really showed him like that. If he's underwater or popping up out of it, but not just following him, but looking at the boat in front of him,
stalking them in the water.
Stalking them.
But
that was cool, man.
But he wound up eating a mine. They dropped the mine and it went in his mouth and blew half his face off. And instantly he became Deadpool.
Yeah.
His face regenerated, within seconds.
Yeah. And we've seen, they've dealt with regeneration in the Godzilla movies, but not quite like that before.
No, he'd have to swim away and rest and recuperate and whatever it was. Godzilla kind of never died in any of them.
No. Well, yeah.
In some. Yeah. I'm saying, but, most of the time he comes back for more.
Yeah, right.
But not instantly.
Yeah.
Looking like Deadpool. Deadzilla.
Yeah. I love the design of this Godzilla, too. It was a mean, tough-looking, great looking Godzilla. That's for sure.
Toho did a great job on the design.
Yeah.
And
Scary
that water scene, which he admittedly took some from Jaws.
Yeah.
Or at least had the idea of Jaws in his mind when he was filming it.
Yeah, it's got to be the way they do that with the spine sticking up out of the water, you know.
Yeah, so this kamikaze pilot is like the main focus of the movie. He's the star, I guess you can call him. And so, yeah, he winds up on this mining retrieval ship, boat, wooden, whatever you want to call it. And they run into Godzilla. Godzilla eats the mine. His face gets blown off and regenerates.
Yeah.
All right, so now we know this guy can regenerate. They wind up somehow getting away because the Navy comes or whatever, and they go back home. And then it's kind of like they're just sitting around waiting.
He destroys that ship, too, before they go back home. That's another sick scene when he punches the ship.
Yeah.
And just rips it in half. Yeah.
Yeah, he did some big damage, heavy damage in this movie.
Yeah. And then he comes to shore.
Yeah. And then he comes to shore. What was it? Ginza? Ginza?
Yeah.
Was the city?
That's what it was.
And Godzilla's ripping through the city.
Tearing ass through the city.
Here comes the kamikaze pilot, just running and grabbing the girl that he met with the orphaned kid and trying to save her.
Yeah, he knew she worked there. He knew that's where Godzilla was headed.
He knew she worked in the city. Your girl works in Manhattan, and Godzilla's ripping through Manhattan.
In terror.
Yeah. How do you know? He ran right up to her.
Yeah.
Like penguins do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a major mistake, you know?
Yeah.
That's the difference between something that's just entertaining and movie of the year. Things like that.
Yep. And then shortly after that is the first time we get to see the what's it called? The atomic breath.
Yeah. Sick.
So, yeah, very, very great scene.
His spine's cock out like it's a trigger, basically, almost.
Yeah, definitely. The only problem, once again, I had with this is it created, I don't want to use the word nuclear blast, but it looked like a nuclear blast.
I like that about it, though.
The bomb explosion was blowing buildings down. No, I liked it. It was a great scene up until this point. They're running, the kamikaze pilot and his chick.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she pushes him in between two buildings in a little alleyway. Yeah. Every building is destroyed. She goes flying like she got hit by a Mack truck. And he's just fine. His alleyway, these buildings are somehow okay.
Yeah.
The whole entire place in a 400-mile radius is destroyed.
Yeah.
But he's all right.
Yeah, the rest of the place was like the Twin Towers of building number 7.
Yeah.
And that little alleyway stayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so she gets blown back to oblivion.
Yeah.
All amongst the rubble and shit like that. So we figure she's dead.
Debris flying at her and all of that, everything, because all these buildings are totally destroyed.
Yeah.
Leveled.
Yeah. But the atomic breath was great. You know, Godzilla's always been a metaphor for nuclear weapons. So it's cool that they made his atomic breath go off like a nuclear bomb.
It was a little, yeah, I did like that.
Yeah.
It was a little over-exaggerated with the, like, Chris Farley neck, the way it went.
Yeah. Shot right out like a Pez dispenser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little awkward.
Yeah.
But, you know, once again, shout out to Japan.
Yeah, they stepped it up.
Stepping their game up.
Definitely stepped up the CGI graphics. It looked good. And it was shot nice, too, the movie.
Yeah.
The cinematography was beautiful.
I'll agree with that.
Scenes of destruction, just the old work, making it look like 1940. It looked lush and plush.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and what else did we find wrong with it?
So after you see the atomic breath, he blows all these buildings down. She saves him.
Yeah.
Gets blown away.
Yeah.
She's wiped out like everything else.
Yeah, the little girl's, where's mommy?
Yeah, where's mommy? He didn't say, that's not your mommy.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not your father.
Yeah. And also the crew that he was fucking collecting mines with was a little goofy to me, all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had the one guy there that was like the jokester of the crew.
Bill Nye, the Japanese guy. They had him there.
Yeah.
The scientist. He worked for the naval, whatever it was, office.
Yeah. And then he winds up heading the campaign to try and destroy Godzilla. Which was crazy. Like, you know.
The government, this is a big part of the movie that you can, that they implement in there and slide in there, you know, subconsciously, because they never actually say it. Well, they do say it.
Yeah.
They say, you know, the Americans aren't coming to help.
Right.
Japanese government's not coming to help.
Right.
The bottom line is your government is not coming to help you.
Yeah. That's the overall impression that you get with the movie.
That's the impression I got.
Nobody's happy with the government, with any government in the movie.
But somehow all of the military workers, the military men all get together and come up with their own plan. It's like, the private citizens, let's call them at this point.
Yeah.
Because it's ex-military. They're all out of the military.
Right.
After World War II, I don't believe Japan could even have a military. I don't think they were allowed to. That's hysterical. Whole country, America was like, no, go to your room. You can't have a military. So they all get together. Bill Nye, the Japanese guy, comes in with his whole plot and plan to open up cans of soda and sink Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to sink him with Freon.
Yeah. The carbonation in the water sinks Godzilla.
And then raise him back up
here's where I
quick,
have another
so the pressure
flaw.
Fucks him up.
Here's where I see another flaw, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't, swimming. Godzilla wasn't swimming.
Yeah, when it gets to the
He was just like standing and walking in the water.
Yeah.
And they're
so
gonna,
how you gonna
sink him there?
Yeah, how you gonna sink him if he's standing on the fucking sand?
Like he was supposed to be in the trench, which was however many meters deep or whatever.
He should have been floating like he was when he was chasing the boat. He should have been like
swimming because there was no land for him to be walking on.
Yeah.
And they made it look like he was walking.
Yeah.
And to me, that was a fatal flaw. I'm like, how are they going to sink this guy? How's this even going to work out?
That's a major
What's
flaw.
happening here?
Yeah. Nobody's talking about that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard people really talk about
I haven't either. Yeah, nobody.
I like that we're giving a fair and balanced review because I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah. Definitely.
We're not saying the movie's bad either.
Go see the movie. The movie was worth going to see, especially if you go to a Regal Theater on a Tuesday. It's $7. Go see it.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't shit. It was definitely a good movie. It's just, the flaws haven't been talked about. And I feel like the flaws are what's keeping it from being the movie of the year, like everybody's saying.
Yeah. So this master plot to kill Godzilla was to open up all this Freon, create the bubbles, the carbonation.
And have two ships. Go around
like
and ring around the roses.
Wrap it around them.
While he's just standing there.
While the kamikaze pilot is in a new plane distracting him, let's say.
Yeah.
And
which that's a flaw too. Godzilla's not smart enough to figure out that two ships are surrounding him with a rope.
Yeah. I guess not. He's a lizard.
I don't know. That was another part that was a little shady,
So these soda cans explode. Godzilla sinks somehow. He wasn't walking anymore. Yeah. And he goes to the bottom, whatever they said, 1,500 meters.
Mm-hmm.
And then the plan was to open up like life preservers and bring them back up quick so the pressure, fucks them up.
Yeah.
And
which
somehow,
it does, I guess, right?
It kind of does, I guess. But he stopped at 800 feet.
Yeah.
800 meters. How'd he stop? I don't remember how he stopped. He got out of it? No. He was just stuck at 800 meters.
Yeah.
They're trying to pull him up, and he was stuck there.
Yeah, I don't remember how he wound up getting stuck.
Yeah, why was he stuck? See, now that could be another flaw.
Yeah. Maybe it was the equipment not working, whatever. But they bring him up. He's fucked up a little bit, you know?
He's trying to do his atomic breath again.
Yeah.
And here comes the kamikaze pilot.
Yeah.
Right into Godzilla's mouth.
Yeah.
Flies right in, plane full of bombs. Bombs go off, blow off Godzilla's head. The top part of his head.
Yeah.
The atomic breath starts coming out of his chest and everywhere else.
Yeah.
And then what was weird? He just crumbled.
Yeah.
Like he was a rock.
Yeah. Or like a vampire that just fucking saw the sunlight.
Just crumbled.
Yeah.
Like rocks crumbling.
Yeah, that part did him. I mean, it looked like his atomic breath kind of imploded him from the inside.
I would think, though,
or if it's the
I would think he would just
pressure.
get like sliced up. Well, yeah, was it the pressure or a combination of them both? I don't know what it was. It was just kind of awkward to me. It didn't seem right.
Yeah, it didn't seem right. Didn't seem right. Didn't feel right. You wondered why that was happening to him.
Yeah. So back to the mine blowing off the side of his face and him instantly kind of regenerating.
Yeah.
The way it ends is a possible sequel.
Yeah. But wait, let's rewind it for a second. Hit the rewind. we got to take it back because the kamikaze pilot, there's two guys that survived on Odo Island. One was the mechanic.
Yeah, the mechanic.
Who fixes the plane for him.
Yeah.
And what he basically does, it's a newer model plane where they have ejectable seats.
Yeah.
And he tells him that.
Yep.
So that was an important part of the movie right there. But yeah, go ahead, continue. The kamikaze pilot flying at Godzilla before he's about to blow his atomic load.
Flies right into his mouth, blows off his head.
Blows his fucking face off, basically. Yeah. It was pretty brutal. It was
like something
sick.
out of a cartoon where they're smoking the cigar that blows up.
Yeah.
His face blew up. That's what it reminded me of. It looked like a model plane getting stuck in like a hole in the wall or a hole in the tree.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then, basically the cells all float down into the water, like the cells can regenerate.
He crumbles, and his cells are important, the Godzilla cells. That's how they made Biollante, no?
Yeah, and another thing about the cells was they say when he attacked Ginza that his cells were all over the place.
Yeah,
like he was releasing
so potentially
them.
there could be a
human
Godzilla
mutant cell. Yeah, right.
There could be Godzilla mutants in the sequel.
Now, so the girl who goes flying comes back.
Yeah.
Did that make any fucking sense? How did that happen?
They claim that she had some shadow thing growing on her.
Yeah, Godzilla's cells. So what, did she get regenerated? Because the way she flew out, that would have definitely killed her. So that part was stupid too.
Yeah.
Just, like you can't have parts like that and have fucking movie of the year, man.
Yeah, there were too many flaws.
Too many of those.
Not even flaws, because once again, it was a good movie. Go see it.
Yeah.
It had too many flaws to be movie of the year, to be the greatest Godzilla ever.
Yeah. It's not that. It's entertaining and it's good that it's successful.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, legendary U.S. film, to me, was way better. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below.
Definitely leave a comment about it.
Give a like, subscribe if we brought you any sort of entertainment.
We out of here.
We out of here.
Peace.